Well, election season for the boards is fast approaching, and today from Third Mutual, we have Board President Rosemary DiLorenzo, also their Secretary Bert Baum, and they're going to be talking about, well, the benefits of being on the board, and if you're interested, how you can get your name in the hat. Welcome to both of you.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing
Nice to
great,
be here.
and man, the year goes by quick, doesn't it?
It certainly does. It's always amazing. It's like it's time again, and it is time again.
It is,
And
yes.
we do, for people, we've talked about this at the board meeting, if you're interested in running, and we'll talk more about that, please come up to the second floor of the community center and see one of our admins, either Cheryl probably, or you could see Catherine or Whitney, and they have applications. One of the things we are doing this year is we're taking your name when you get an application and your phone number. So if you don't bring it back, we're going to call
All
you and
right.
ask you where it is.
There we go.
So we're trying to say when you come, please be seriously interested. But we really want to call you in case if you haven't returned your application, because some people might find the application daunting.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them have told me that they found some of the questions silly, but I'm not going to go there. And if they have any questions, then you know, and they don't want to call us, if we haven't gotten it back, we can call them and say, do you need any help? Bert would be happy to help you.
You pass it off to Bert. Well, let me ask both of you. You've both been on the boards for quite some time. So what are the benefits? What do you like about being on the board?
I think to me, the most important thing is the ability to help people.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was one of my aims originally when I got on the board. And it makes you feel good when you can do that. And also, I know everyone has some pet peeves. Here's a chance to work on them, you know, and get things done.
Yeah. What about you, Rosemary?
I think that you know, there are different things that are benefits. You know, one of them is and I do try to tease some of the board members, is by being on the board and working as diligently as we are, we're preserving or increasing our property values.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, when we own properties in here, just as all the other residents or the owners do, the owner members, and it's important for us to make sure that the work that we do and the decisions that we make are going to add to the value of our homes. And so that's one part of it. It's very mercenary. But I think the other part, as Bert says, is to take care of our residents. I come from my background is the service business, because I ran hotels, and that's what we did. And we have changed in the past 2 years, especially the focus, and say this is a service business. You know, we're taking care of residents and we're offering them service. They're not getting donuts. They're not getting their hair done. They're not getting drapes. They're getting service. They're getting the experience. I mean, they're getting a place to live, but it's the service that we could do to make their lives better.
Yeah, that's very true.
I guess our message is get on board and join the board. Run for the board.
And you may learn new things. And there was a little anecdote you sent up about Director Roy Brunninghouse, right? About his children kind of thinking that when he relocated,
Right,
I think from
right.
back east, right?
Right. He's
Yeah.
from Salem, I think, something like that. And his children, we tease him because his children were concerned. I think he's lived here for 2 years, that he would have enough to do.
Mm-hmm.
And now that he's been on the board, his children are, you know, he has enough to do. Because he certainly has enough to do, and so it has really filled in his life.
Yeah.
And we're not saying that the board should be your life, because it shouldn't.
No.
You know, but it adds to your life a lot. So not only do you add to the community, it adds to you, doesn't it? Don't you
Yeah,
think so?
you get a lot of new experiences. You learn about how this place, which is very complicated, runs. So that's really important.
And you meet a lot of good people, right?
You do meet a lot of good people, and it's funny because I knew Bert for years before we were on the board, and we were actually in opposing camps, sort of politically. But I knew him from the bridge club.
Okay.
Because we both used to play bridge when we had time. No, that's a joke. We still play maybe once a week. But I knew him, and I never knew him as a person. And he's true, I call him the Renaissance man. You know, he's
yeah,
a true,
you are. Yeah.
He is. He's a true scholar. He has a great brain, and we were very sorry to hear that he wasn't going to run again because he's been such a fabulous addition to the board.
Well, that's very nice. Thank you, Rosemary. And it was a pleasure to work with you and for you. And anyone who comes on the board will have that great opportunity.
Yep. Well, you still got a few more.
Yeah,
months.
we
Now,
still got a couple
let's
of
talk
months.
about, you kind of made a list here of what you think are the 10 traits of a successful board member. And the first one on the list is, and this is, I think, a really important one, the willingness to dig in.
I couldn't read it, and my eyes are really good. I
There
thought
you
you
go.
said the willingness to die for it, and I'm going to say no, the willingness to dig in. Yeah, I would say that.
That's important. And actually, there's some that are not on the list. I would put curiosity. as
That's a very
number
good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you have to be curious about the world around you,
Mm-hmm.
about how things work, and be able to look into it and find out.
Right. And I think that's a really good trait to have, because if you don't have curiosity in how things are done, you may find yourself just kind of sitting back.
And you don't have to be Superman, and I'm the #1 example of that. So anybody can run for the board, and if you're interested and you want to put in the effort, you can be a successful board member.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's amazing how the different talents that you have adapt to different situations. We were just in an architectural control meeting this morning, and you know, we have two people on it, or we have 3 advisors, and it's amazing what they bring. But the thing is there was one thing I said, and it was like a good idea for what we were working on, and yet there was somebody who had something that was much more technical. Because I was asking, if somebody puts a new roof on, say, a modification of their home,
Right.
how do we control that? And you know, we got the answer, and then somebody starts talking about something else that you have to do with the roof, and it's like, well, I don't know about that. So I look at the business side,
Right.
because that's my background, but Bert looks at it from another side, probably a common sense side. No, but other people look at it from a technical side. So there are just so many ways to look at things.
Yeah, and a few more things you put down here: the ability to play fair and a sense of honesty. And to play fair, I think that you may have some opposing views when you're on the board together.
That's right.
But you voice your opinions in a fair way, and if it doesn't go your way, you have to accept it. You're on the board as a whole.
Right. And you have to play fair with the residents.
Yeah, well, that's true. Very good. Yeah, and of course, honesty is.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
That's our best policy.
Yeah. No, I mean, the thing is honesty and integrity is key to what we do. I mean, we have to, it's not that we have money that we're spending, but we have to just be very honest and fair with our other board members, with the department heads who we
Right.
work with, you know, and be understanding, and you know, we have to also be open-minded.
Yes.
You know, and that's important.
Yeah. And again, you know, something else that's put down the list: the willingness to ask for help. There's not going to be anyone that knows it all.
Right.
And if there comes a time when you're like, you know what, I need a little help with this. Can I get your opinion on this committee or whatever it might be? The
That's
willingness to do that.
That's part of the learning experience.
Yeah.
So that's good.
And the ability to delegate, right? And as board president.
You know, when I used to work, they used to tease me and say that I wrote the book on delegation. And now it's at the point that if I'm at a meeting and I look at somebody, they're sort of going like, because they know that I could be asking them to help do something. The other good thing, though, is that, and we really focused on it in the past two years a lot, is working with the other boards.
Right.
You know, our products are different, but our goals are the same.
Yeah.
Taking care of the residents. So there's a lot of sharing.
Yeah.
And you know,
Right.
and Sometimes we might have a slightly different opinion, but pretty much, you know, we just work with Unison, especially with United, because they're the other housing mutual. So it's a good working relationship.
Yes. And the ability to change, because things are always changing. And sometimes what was once a particular view on something, over the years, it transitions into something else. And you have to have that willingness to see it a different way.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And you can't just be like tunnel visioned, you know, sounds like, oh, well, I have to do this, because there's so many aspects of all the things we do. And that's what's great about the board, because you bring all of the aspects to it. And then, of course, one of the favorite things is always, my favorite things is always to have a sense of humor. Because we have to, we have to.
We try to keep it as light as
we
possible.
can. Like and I don't want to scare anyone and say we have a lot of meetings, which we don't. We're really trying to cut back on the number of meetings. I don't think I have any. I think I might have one day this week coming up or with meetings. So we're really trying to cut that back. But the other day we had a long meeting because we had a closed session that was rather long because we had appeals from the residents. And but we always sort of try to keep it light so that you don't become like delirious.
And you got to have a thick skin.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Now, let's talk about, we got about a minute or two left, some misconceptions that should be dispelled about being on the board.
Well, one thing is we want to make it easy for you to run. Okay. So we're going to help you at every step of the way. We'll help you write out a statement. We'll help you for your TV interview. We'll do everything for you. I don't think we'll put you to bed, but besides that, we will do everything we can for you.
Yeah, actually, and we started this a few years ago. You know, some people are more reluctant than others to go on camera. So when they think about, oh my God, you know, when we have Meet the Candidates. So Bert and I have worked on this, and we have someone, what is his name, David?
That's unfair.
All right, we blocked out his name. We have somebody who's extremely active in the one of the theater groups who is going to be our MC or question asker at Meet the Candidates. But we are happy to work with the candidates before they do meet the candidates to say, these are the kind of questions that have come up in the past.
Yeah.
These, and if you want to practice them, we'll practice them. So, you know, we have coaching if you want, and we'll write help them write their statement.
And they don't have to spend any money, which in the past, candidates have spent hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, you don't need to do that.
We're going to give you free time on TV. We're going to take care of you.
Yeah, because in the past, depending, people would have brochures, and then we would have people deliver them to all the doors, so you had volunteers and whatever. So you had to put up at least like $500 in order to have your stuff done. So what we're basically trying to do now is not have brochures, hard copy. We're going to work with our wonderful person who's in charge of communication. I forget her name. Oh, no.
I think I see her in the distance.
We're going to work with her, Eileen Paulin, and to have statements about the candidates that could be sent out in a blast. And so then if you don't get it on email, the newspaper also covers it too.
Okay.
We can't print brochures or things like that because we're not allowed to use board money to promote the candidates. So that's okay. But so gone will be, unless people have a lot of money, gone will be the big newspaper ads, et cetera. We're going to try to do it internally, interviews, meet the candidates, some other things that we're going to do, the newspaper, and we'll and help them to get the word out there.
And
all right, very
David
good.
Deering.
David Deering, of course.
Okay, good.
I want to
You
give a
should have
phone
known
number
that.
here. For more information or to pick up a packet, visit the second floor in the Community Center building. Stop by outside the General Manager's office, or you can call 949-597-4265. And the first deadline is Wednesday, August 15th. Nominations close. Candidate statements are due, and also a video agreement. And then on August 24th, to meet the candidates for third and a candidate individual interview. So there you go.
Okay.
Good.
All right, good to see you both.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
you
you.
take care. And Bert, we have a few more months with you.
Okay.
I know you'll be sitting in that chair a few more times.
Okay.
All right.
Absolutely.
And I'll see
change
you
the
again
schedule.
soon.
Thank you. Thanks
Take
a
care.
lot.
We'll be right back.
Thank you.